guys, Myke C-Town. A lot of you have asked me for my opinion on No Love Deep Web, and since we didn't do a full Dead End Hip Hop crew video, I figured I'd make a short solo video just talking about, what I thought of the record. I think I'll start off by talking about the few things concerning the album that I don't feel are that important, but they're things that people keep bringing up, so I guess, I'll go ahead and give my opinion on them. First being the album cover. Yeah, it's a dick, whatever, it's a dick. Seems to be that, the only ones that are really upset about the dick are men, and I don't really get the big fucking deal, man. We all have dicks, unless you're a eunuch. I don't really see the reason to be that upset. It's a fucking dick. We see our dick every day. Hopefully when you're washing your ass, you see your dick. If you're into art, you should be used to taboo things, and being an artist and being around other artists, seeing a picture of a dick on an album doesn't really freak me out that much. I think the album cover served its purpose. It was put there, in my opinion, I think, to do what Death Grips has always, sought out to do, which is to make people uncomfortable. And it fucking worked. People are really bothered by the fact that their album cover's a dick. No one complained when, the cover of Money Store was that weird fucking S&M shit with the wolf thing and all that other shit. No one said anything, but when there's a dick, the album cover becomes bigger than the fucking music itself, and that's fucking stupid. Get over it, I will say it's kind of awkward, when I'm at my desk and I need to pause it when someone comes to my cube and there's a dick on my iPod. That's kind of weird. But other than that, whatever. Who cares? It's a dick. Moving on. I thought this shit was great. This album to me gave me what Money Store lacked, which was a bit of that hard-edged aggression, that abrasiveness. I thought the beats were a lot dirtier. MC Ride this time is a lot more passionate. He sounds angry. He sounds more paranoid. He sounds almost desperate when you hear him. Sometimes his voice is cracking. Sometimes he's just yelling, completely indecipherable, whatever. This is the kind of shit that I liked. Coming off of Ex-Military, I thought Money Store was awesome, but it was slightly, more tame than Ex-Military. This album, on the other hand, I think gave me a little bit more of what I wanted following Ex-Military. There was a lot more passion this time, and I know I've heard a lot of people saying that a lot of the beats were too similar, but I feel like they gave you the songs that were completely abrasive and inaccessible, like the first track, Come Up and Get Me, or tracks like No Love. Those tracks are just crazy, whatever. But then you have the tracks that are a little bit more listenable, like Little Boy or Whammy, where they have these kind of, not catchy, but catchy for Death Grips. Whammy, that kind of shit can get in your head, and you just, whatever, you sing along to it, whatever. But I thought the music itself was overall was a lot more abrasive this time around, which I enjoyed. A lot of this, actually, it's weird. I'm not a fan of this group, but a lot of the music on this album this time reminded me of White House, where you have these crazy dirty power electronics, or these crazy dirty electronic beats in the background with someone just yelling. It reminded me of some of William Bennett just fucking going off for no goddamn reason, just hollering over this fucking wall of noise. So yeah, I mean, so if you are a fan of you know of White House, you might dig this album more than you might dig the Money Store. And one thing I also saw people tweeting me about, or tweeting in general about, was the lyrics being corny on this album as compared to the lyrics for Ex-Military or the lyrics for the Money Store. I understand, yeah, shit like, it's all suicide, it's all suicide, it's all suicide. Yeah, that shit can be a little bit, corny, only because we've heard it so much, you know, when you hear that kind of stuff every day from people that don't mean it, yeah, it comes off hokey. When some shitty fucking emo band from, Winnipeg comes and they're playing shitty music, yelling, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," or "I'm gonna fucking kill myself," you look at it and you laugh. You don't take them seriously. You're a shitty emo band from Winnipeg. But if you're walking down the streets of New York and there's a fucking dude in a jumpsuit covered in his own shit with a fucking bloody Phillips head, and he's chasing after you saying, "I'm gonna fucking kill you," you believe him. You believe that shit, because you're looking at this guy and you're like, he's covered in his own shit. He'll fucking kill me because he doesn't care about shitting on himself. So that means So it's all about context, and it's all about the source, right? So when you look at the context of the song "World of Dogs," when he's singing "It's all suicide" over and over again, on the surface, yeah, it does come off hokey. But when you really get into the song, it fits to me. It fits, in my opinion. I would have preferred maybe they varied the lines up a little bit instead of just saying "It's all suicide" over and over again. But it sounds to me like the song was more about living is almost suicide. Like it's all suicide to me, ruthless and free. That's how I took the song. I knew from the first track that I was gonna love this album. The first track, "Come Up and Get Me," I think it's another really important song. Just like I said that "I've Seen Footage" is an important song, because in "I've Seen Footage," MC Ride is going on about the things he's seen that make him paranoid. In this track, he's talking about being in an abandoned building, and he can either jump out the window and commit suicide, or he can stay there and fight. And he's saying, "I'm gonna stay here and fight," but at the same time, he's just going on and on about all the weird shit that he's feeling while being in this abandoned building. I think this track really represents not only the theme of the album, but I think it represents the theme of the band itself that I think is missed because people are too focused on, these are not hip hop beats and he doesn't rhyme like MF Doom. I think the theme of the band and the theme of the album is really just like suicidal paranoia, like maniacal paranoia, to the point where you can't focus on anything except for all the different shit that you think is going on around you. I think that's what MC Ride is really focusing on. And the music, once you put your head in that place and you realize that they're trying to put you in this place of this person just feeling intense paranoia, the beats really, they really help that, because you have sounds going in the left speaker and the right speaker, and you're trying to get your head around what's going on, and you just fucking can't. You can't keep up because you have this dude yelling, you have these crazy weird off-time beats. I think it's all supposed to make you feel what Ride is feeling, or what the person that Ride is supposed to be portraying is feeling, and that is suicidal, maniacal paranoia. And I think that listening to that first track and reading through the lyrics, once again, it's just like, okay, I don't get you completely, but I'm getting you a little bit more. You know, I'm getting you just a little bit more with every listen. You know, put your gun to my head, I'll blow smoke in your face. Think you got what it takes, come up and get me. Like, he's saying, you know, you're trying to kill me, the world is trying to kill me, but I'm not going out. Like, I'm gonna stick around. I'm gonna deal with this shit. You know, so yeah, I think that was a really, really important track. You know, a couple other standout tracks to me besides "Come and Get Me" were tracks like "No Love." Again, I already spoke of on "World of Dogs," where I think that's a fucking amazing track, even if, you know, the lyrics were a bit hokey on surface level. You know, I'm sure if MC Rai sat down and explained them to me, I'd be like, oh shit, that's mad deep. Or I might just be like, you're a fucking nutcase, I don't want to hear any more of this. Anyway, Lock Your Doors, another great track. You know, I think that I think a lot of the songs do kind of flow together. They don't sound overly similar, but they do flow together nicely, because I think the sound of this album was a little bit more cohesive than maybe the sound of Money Store. Which, again, I love Money Store, but this album just seemed like they went for more of a cohesive sound with this one. You have more of your electronic beats, your darker, noisy soundscapes in the background. You have more of that this time. And then you just have Ride doing his thing, which is basically just fucking hollering and yelling, but in a way that even me listening to more extreme music, I'm not accustomed to in this style. Again, which is something that I enjoy, but I think that he's doing this because his whole purpose is to make you, I know this sounds weird, but to make you slightly uncomfortable, while still enjoying the music itself, you know, which I did. But yeah, overall, I think the album is great. I actually liked it more than the Money Store because it had the kind of sounds that I personally enjoy, which are the noisy, more abrasive sounds. I like the way Ride was this time. He didn't seem as subdued. He seemed more passionate. He seemed angry, paranoid, desperate, you know, just everything that I want from him. And this is what I wanted from the album following Ex-Military. Again, not to shit on Money Store, because I still think it's a fucking great record, but this one, this is what I wanted. This is what I was waiting for. And, you know, it delivered, man. It fucking delivered. But I can understand people's gripes. I can understand people's gripes about certain aspects of the album. It's just, personally, they didn't sink in with me. They could have spent a little more time organizing the vocals a little bit more. Again, I still like the way he was yelling and everything, but I think that sometimes the I don't know. Sometimes they were a little bit unfocused, I think, or it could just be that's what he was going for. But to me, sometimes they just sounded a little bit unfocused. But overall, I think it's a fucking, you know, an amazing album, and I'm super duper looking forward to what they do next. So that's pretty much it, man. So let me know what you guys thought of the album. Leave some comments. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on Facebook, whatever. Let me know what you guys thought. Alright? Hope this wasn't too long. I fucking ramble a lot. But yeah, that's it. Death Grips. No Love Deep Web. Peace! Bitches.